Yeah, 1969, 50 years ago, we were out here. My family came up for the Apollo 11 liftoff. I didn't realize it at the time, but apparently my dad was a big space and history buff, so he packed all the kids in his VW camper van, 4 kids, and my mom, and drove us up here to Cocoa Beach. Literally pulled the van onto the beach, parked that night before, and we waited for the launch the next morning. A lot different now than it was then. You can drive onto the beach in some places, but or you could back then at least, and I don't think you can now, but this was packed with people, campers. My mom said people were coming in all night waiting for that launch.
Did y'all get any sleep the night before?
I did not. That was the first night I ever remember staying up all night. I was 6 years old, summer of 1969. And I remember staying up all night. We were so excited about this launch. I do remember, we have pictures of it too, when it lifted off. As you can see, the Cape from here is about as close as they'll let you get without a special invitation. But when it lifts off, it took a while, but eventually you could hear and feel the rumble of the engines of that rocket. That's how powerful it was. And that's a couple of miles away from where we are.
I'm trying to think of what else you're talking about.
I don't know what she's trying to tell me.
I was telling you to walk toward it, so...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was going to get the, yeah.
Brittany could face it as you were talking about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to get separate
Well, you can
shots,
always
too.
turn around, too. You want to do that shot again?
Well, then I feel like I gotta start over.
No, because I can put video while you're pointing. I can always...
Yeah.
But that's what I was thinking, like steadier shots. It's going to be...
This is... There were...
people travel from all over, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. There were the people here from all over the country, probably the world, to witness that. Because it was history in the making. It was the first time men were going to land on the moon. There was media everywhere. There were reporters with cameras walking around interviewing people. They didn't want to talk to our family because we'd only driven up 3 hours from Fort Lauderdale to see it. But they wanted to. There were a lot of people.
Have you been back since, or you come pretty often?
I came back. Last time I was here was in 1981 for the first space shuttle launch. Let me try that again. I came back one other time to this beach, back in 1981, for the launch of the very first space shuttle. That was an early morning launch. Drove over the night before, slept in my car, along with a lot of other people. We all came out, watched it early in the morning, and then I fell asleep on the beach. Got the worst sunburn of my life. Memories.
Talk to me a little bit about what it means being back 50 years ago. 50 years later.
Wait, 1 second.
You know, I got to credit my dad, for having the foresight to bring us up here just to witness. And we weren't that far away. We were about a 3-hour drive up from Fort Lauderdale. But just for him to say, hey, we're going to see this. This is history. And I want the family to witness this. We're too close not to go. Really credit him with that.
Do you think that changed your outlook on how passionate you are about it?
Yeah, we spent, it was really a neat thing because it was happening in your home state. This was Spaceport USA, Cape Canaveral, and eventually Kennedy Space Center. So it gave you a real sense of pride. And I remember I collected a lot of souvenirs and followed the space program as closely as I could as a kid.
Son, sorry.
Oh yeah, you're in the wrong place, aren't you?
This is a pretty backdrop.
Yeah.
So you said after that kind of you were...
Yeah, I wouldn't, space nut or anything, but...
What did you say?
It does. I said I'm not crazy about it, but I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. It gives you a real appreciation for the whole space program, and it's happening right here, in your home state. And just a couple hours drive from where you grew up, it was a big deal. So you can almost make out the launch complexes up here. This is about as close as NASA would let you get because, I mean, really not that long before Apollo 11 lifted off, rockets were blowing up on the pad. So they kept the public as far away as they could. But this is about as close as you can get to the launch. Even to this day, this beach will be packed for the next launch. They will, you can get invitations and reservations to get a little bit closer, but they don't want you to get too close. What else can I tell you?
What else?
So you have an even bigger connection to the space program now. Being here 50 years ago,
Yeah.
and now you work in Huntsville.
Do you ever think you would work in the
I
next?
know, that is kind of an interesting.
Wait 1 second.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess you work in the next rocket city.
It is kind of an interesting
I mean,
point.
there's only 3 NASA hubs, like big
Yeah,
NASA hubs.
And I've
You've
been to 2 of them.
fortunate-
Yeah, you're here just in time for the anniversary.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, I was here for the launch of Apollo 11 50 years ago, standing pretty much in this spot, and now I'm back for the 50th anniversary. Amazing. Working in Huntsville, Alabama. I got to witness quite a few launches when I was working in Orlando, too, because this is the Orlando television market as well. So we witnessed a lot of the shuttle program, liftoffs and landings. It's pretty special being back in Huntsville and then for the 50th anniversary of this. Never thought they'd send me back here, that's for sure.
It was a teardrop.